Good morning. I hope you guys are good. I am brilliant and here and ready for another session. Today is Monday the 16th. Can you believe it? Monday the 16th of June, halfway through the year. Real or not, unbelievable, but here we are. And so once again, we are here to come. We always come every Monday to Friday. We're here. Mondays is myself, Tuesdays Dr. Sunshine Sylvia, Wednesday is the Mompreneur team, Thursdays Dr. Nelly with Prosperity for Your Soul, and Friday is still open, but it's health tips. And today I am here to speak with you guys on bootstrapping. And today I want to really focus and run with business ideas. So I'm going to talk about business ideas that can increase your means using minimal capital. And here again, remember, bootstrapping is the concept where you learn exactly how to create a business using virtually zero money. Now, of course, I use the word virtually because it's impossible to have absolutely nothing. But a lot of people don't realize that sweat equity is a very powerful input. In other words, the effort that you put into an endeavor has a big difference when it comes to pushing you to where you need to be. So let's jump straight into this because I have a lot to offload and I want to take advantage of the 30 minutes. So did you know that 99 out of 100 new businesses fail within the first 5 years of inception? Okay, why such a high figure? The answers are scattered throughout this series I'll be taking you through and would require that you revisit and hear them for yourself on a regular basis. However, the simple answer is that most people, they lack the 5 basic factors within them to see their businesses through. And what are these 5 basic factors? These are determination, discipline, focus, commitment, and consistency. And I'm going to talk a bit about that. Let's begin with determination. It's that zeal to say, I am going to do this. That unresolved, determined, like decision, where you make a decision and you're not backing down from that decision. That's what really determination is. And the unfortunate part is that for many people, they just don't have that level of resolve. Okay? And so what am I saying? I'll say that again. It's that unwavering decision making where you say, I am going to do this regardless of what happens. That's what determination is. Then discipline is the ability to show up. And I mean that literally, just to show up, you know, to do the same stuff over and over and over. And you know, it can be so boring. It can be so depressing. It can be so discouraging. But the fact that you show up and you go through that process, you know, like a disciple, for lack of a better word, just committed to that process of doing the same thing over and over. And by the way, I'm talking about the same right thing. Focus is following one course until successful. That's the acronym there. Focus is just stopping to look left, stopping to look right. Just focus on that one thing, and with a determined, dogged focus, just zoomed in and staying there. Okay. Commitment is saying, I'm going to die for this. You see, there's involvement and there's commitment. They're different. So commitment is saying, that's it. I'm not going for anything else. And then consistency, in fact, you know what? Discipline and consistency, they're very similar, but consistency is actually showing up and keeping on doing it. Discipline is having the resolve to do it, to show up. So the resolve to show up is discipline. The capacity to remain doing what you need to do every single day is consistency. So for example, we've been on this thing forever. And you know, sometimes I'll tell you, you know, people get a bit discouraged. You do this, you see low numbers. You do this, you see nothing going on. You say, but what you want to know is that showing up pays off. You know, staying consistent pays off. It may not look like it's happening, but you stay at it. You keep at it, and that's exactly what I do. That's what exactly Dr. Nelly does. That's what Dr. Sunshine do. They show up every single day that they should show up, and they do what they need to do all the time. This is one thing that a lot of people don't have. In fact, to be honest, the difference in people who succeed and people who don't succeed is the ability to be consistent. Whatever you pick to do, can you stay with it? Can you run with it? Can you be committed to the process and stay until when it happens. So that's a big minus for many people because they don't have that level of consistency anyway. So when these five, like I told you, are combined with the absence of factors in our wealth creation that states that wealth equals time plus effort plus value, the business will certainly fail. Okay, so I hope you got that. So when I mentioned that the business below, or the one that I'm going to tell you about, requires minimal capital, it does not mean they're easy to do. No, that couldn't be further from the truth. Instead, what I mean is that these businesses require little to no capital, okay? Using the concept, they little to no capital at all and can be established using the concept of bootstrapping, which we'll get into. And the three businesses I'm going to talk about, which are for the Zambian setup, is starting a business brokerage agency, opening a mobile money agency, and joining a reputable network marketing company. And I'm really going to talk about that because I'm very, I have a very soft spot for network marketing because in many ways I am doing what I'm doing today because I learned so much from network marketing. So I'll come to that. Let's begin with the business brokerage agency. So if one takes a little time to study their environment and what is in it, just hold on, let me get Doc on this call. Just give me a second. I'm just adding her to the stage, and then obviously that means I have to change the layout so that we can continue. Just a minute. Alrighty. Okay, so welcome, Doc. Let me continue where I was. Okay, so if one takes a little time to study the environment and what people's needs are, and then looks for the solution, it can easily be found. Okay, strangely, and to your advantage, very few people know things. And even if they do, even fewer have the resilience to actually put their knowledge to use. As such, if you look hard enough, there are endless products and services available to the public. But the public, for the most part, do not know how to access them. In fact, there is another factor that plays a huge role and works to your advantage: the issue of convenience. Okay? In case you missed the memo, cash is no longer king. Okay? That ended some years back. The new king is convenience. Convenience will make you more money than cash itself, and I mean that. Okay? So this is the reason why mobile money, ATMs, even though those are now disappearing slowly, internet banking, electronic bill payments, and endless other new concepts have become very successful and very popular. Any business model that factors in convenience will always work out well. Try it. I mean it. The concept of brokerage finds its strength in, that's right, convenience. You have clients that seek a product or service, and you step in and source this product or service on their behalf, then supply it with your markup in place. Okay? And with some clever timing, you can actually do this with no capital upfront, and I mean that. Okay? All you need to do is ensure you have the correct information and some trust working, so some trust capital working for you. With the right reputation and personal brand power, people are willing to pay upfront. I know that. Now, products or clothing and apparel. This. Sorry, my internet was misbehaving there. So yeah, so clothing and apparel, right? Especially through thrift.
I think Rev's
Okay.
microphone. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. You're
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, man. I just changed the network. I don't know why Liquid is misbehaving. Man. Anyway, so Salaula, like I said, cars, people have been doing cars for years. Phones, tablets, laptops, movies, and music. You won't believe it, how much you can make money off those. ZambianMusic.net and examples, which really all just broker at a commission, all download the music. Grain and cash crops like maize, beans, groundnuts, soya, and so many others, and just about anything people may seek to purchase. Now, let me just pause there before I talk on. You know, this thing about knowledge is so real. The other day, a gentleman got in touch with me. He's a teacher, and he's looking to find a way to get paid. So he's on a platform online which, you know, trades in knowledge, and he's looking for a way to get paid on that. So he had reached out to me because he wanted me to help him with the whole PayPal thing and how to receive money from America. And when we got talking, he realized that there's so much he doesn't know, because when I asked him some leading questions, he found himself actually stuck. And I then gave him a lot of insights, you know, to such an extent the man said, oh my God, I thought I knew, I thought I had an idea and I was feeling discouraged. Now I'm so encouraged. Oh, wow, yeesh, this thing about knowledge is such a big, I said, yes, knowledge makes a huge difference. You see, there's a lot of people right now, you're going to be watching this later or whenever, and you're so frustrated, but you'll be stunned how much a difference would be there if you knew. And this is why people come on my coaching programs, because, and docs, in fact, all our presenters here have different coaching programs. And believe me, these coaching programs aren't just a bunch of BS, because I notice there's this thing where people have this negative view of motivation speakers and mentors. And for me, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Why? Because all of us, myself inclusive, have benefited immensely from mentorship, immensely from coaching. I have paid people for specialized knowledge because I realize if I want to move from one place to another, I will not be able to do that without specialized knowledge. And that specialized knowledge cuts short your learning curve. That's the idea behind learning some of these things. And I'm coming back to the brokerage just now, but I can tell you it's a huge differentiator. Cutting short your learning curve is the difference between spending 3 to 5 years learning something that you could learn in 6 months, something that you could learn in 3 months, and you could cut short your learning curve and actually execute more effectively because you learned from someone else rather than going out there and making all the mistakes. And truth be told, with the way knowledge, information is now available, you really don't have the luxury of spending years trying to learn. And you see, the other thing is this first to market thing is real. Sometimes if you take too long to get into certain spaces, by the time you get in them, the space is, for lack of a better word, saturated, even though Dr. Nelly, all of us here don't believe in saturation, agreed. But there is a first to market advantage. That one cannot be ignored. First to market advantage. People who start a certain business first will make a relatively high killing before the crowd comes in. Then once the crowd comes in, that market changes. You no longer have the same prices you had because there are newer things on the market. There are newer alternatives that people are now jumping onto. Say, take, for example, satellite television. I'm digressing a bit, but I'll come back. Satellite television was huge. Multi-choice, TSTV, made a killing, and killing is an understatement. They were gargantuan. They were making huge money out of satellite television and exclusive content through their decoders and things like that. But times have changed, and now with this internet and streaming services are really, really, really destroying the market for the, the satellite platforms. They're just destroying that market. So the satellite platforms have to adopt or die, and they're trying to adapt. But it's very difficult because streaming services have really taken off. So you cannot underplay, you cannot belittle the power of being first to market. So make sure you go in there, do what you can before everybody wakes up to what you're doing and comes in like a flood. So remember, back to my points now. So we're back to the brokerage business. So remember, when you decide to be a broker, your major work is to find a convenient way to move a product from its current location, which is inconvenient for your target market, to one where it's right by their doorstep, so to speak. Okay, with some imagination, there's no limit to what you can actually do. Think about it. Does not Pick and Pay sell very nice vitumbua for the affordable price of, I can't remember their price, of 2 kwacha probably? Now, did you know that brokerage would include a simple strategy such as ensuring you supply, get these to your workmates at a markup of 15 way extra and have them pay at the month end? You can even put an extra 1 kwacha. You can purchase all the vitumbuas you need first thing in the morning, then place them in your own packaging and have all the workmates open accounts with you so that they collect and eat throughout the month. You then collect all dues at the month end with a special arrangement in place from accounts. A small appreciation to the accounts people ensures that you never miss anyone's payments and you make 50% profit off an already existing product offered by a wholesaler for your exploits. So this is an example of brokerage. Then I can tell you, you've got 2 options there. You could literally make the vitumbuas yourself, which is really cumbersome, or you just go buy and resell, which is faster. So some of these things you need to sit down and do your math and decide which makes more sense. For me, I think go and buy and resell is just miles better because you're literally just making money on top instead of going to literally create the product from zero. The only time you create the product from zero is if it doesn't make sense to buy and resell. I tell you. So why would this work? Why wouldn't people simply go to Pick and Pay themselves? Answer: convenience. I gotta pause there. That's the key. Why is it now a lot of online stores are really taking off? Why? Because now we have riders. See, when COVID came about, it created this thing which many people didn't think about, which is riders. There are riders all over Africa, but for some reason, Zambia never caught on. In fact, the only thing left for Zambia to catch on now is Boda Boda. And at the rate we're going, Boda Boda is going to become the next big thing. Boda Boda is a term from East Africa for these motorcycles that carry people. Then in West Africa, they are called Okadas. So these are very popular and they are also good because of convenience. I can tell you right now, there are actually riders who are literally shopping on behalf of clients and going to deliver directly in their homes. That's the other very big convenience. I assure you, where I am right now, if someone, I could be able to tell them, go to ShopRite, get me the following products, A, B, C, D. I pay them, they get the products, put them on their bike, bring them. I would jump for that service instantly. I hate going to the supermarket, but I have to, because many times you find you have no option but to swing by and pick up 1 or 2 things, especially now with these power outages. But I've done a lot of convenience. I mean, right now I've got numbers for a lot of shops. So this the where I buy my beef and meat products, I just call, put on a bike. Where I buy my potatoes for the chips for the kids, I call, put on a bike. So the only things that are left which I can't put on a bike is the ShopRite stuff and the Badumu wholesalers here in Challenge. So I can't do that because I don't have a contact that I could call and say, I need that, how much are they? Thank you, here's the money. Bike out, please collect, bring. You know, that's a very powerful business which can literally work on convenience and be very powerful. You will be surprised how many people, if you can work out how they can contact you, pay, and all that, you could make a killing of that. Somebody who's serious. All you need to do is just create a call center, if you know what I mean. Like your shopping solved. And they call one number, they give their orders, then you've got people that get the orders to the shops, somebody who does the buying, packing, then bikes which are dispatched. It's a huge service. Try it. You will see. It's huge. I wouldn't do it because I haven't got the time for it, but it's a brilliant idea. All right, so that is the reason. So firstly, it's right by their workplace. That's the other reason why the Chitumbuas will be popular. It's right by their workplace. And secondly, even more importantly, it's on credit. So that's another. Of course, I don't want you to do credit for shopping stuff, but work stuff, it can work very well. My sister is doing food delivery, high-end food delivery for kids, packed lunch. She does very nice gourmet stuff. She's like the queen of gourmet like really nice, healthy stuff that can be sent to kids. She does these packages, sends them to special schools. So she's got clients from a number of these high-end schools. We've got Trident in Lusaka. She's got some clients there. She's got some clients at Rhodes Park School. She's got some clients at, no, not American School, but I know she does have some clients. So these clients are willing to pay top kwacha for products. And she has these prepared fresh, and then they're dispatched. Some of them she takes in person because she has a number at a school and she doesn't want them mixed up. So she does take them in person and the kids go and collect from her. Very powerful, very powerful, okay? So the only challenge, like I say, on your part is to practice discipline when it comes to your income so that you build your capital base. So in short, don't expend everything you get through the provision on credit, okay? And do remember that you have a markup of 50% on the student words, which should adequately cover all your costs of business, which include the provision of credit, the transport to Pick and Pay or wherever each morning, and the utensils and plastic bags, biodegradable, please, that you supply with your product. So this is an example of how brokerage works, but I can tell you brokerage has many angles to it. So it's not just restricted just to the student words. I mean, you can do this for any product, any service. I've seen this multiple times, works extremely well, and it's really up to you just to have the resilience and wisdom to know how to make this happen, okay? So let's now look at the other option I talked about in terms of business. Let's go there now. And so besides brokerage, the mobile money, but I don't want to spend too much time on that, but it's very good. In spite of what the naysayers and the critics may have to say about the industry, network marketing, so I want to go straight to network marketing. So network marketing has grown into a respectable size and generates more income. And okay, you know what? I think I'm going to do network marketing next week. So let me wrap up, because this is deep, and I love network marketing. I did network marketing. I have a very soft spot for it. I think it's a very effective business when done right, with the right company, with the right leadership, with the right environment, and I'm serious about that as well, because in some environments it's horrendously difficult to make it with MLM, depending on the company itself. But I can tell you it's very effective. A lot of people misunderstand it. A lot of people have given it a bad reputation because they don't know how it works. But I can tell you, as an individual who's done it and succeeded and earned substantially from it, it is a very effective industry. But let me come back and wrap up on brokerage. So think about it now. Let me give you the chance to think, what could you broker? You can broker a lot of things. In fact, brokerage is about identifying buyers on one end and sellers on the other. That's all. Merchants on one end and consumers on the other, and then becoming a middleman. That's really what brokerage is. Then with a bit of imagination, a bit of search, a bit of diligence, you'll be surprised what you can make from brokerage. In fact, if you get the right deals, some of them can set you for life. So it's really just about being present. So a lot of people, normally why they fail in brokerage is because they want to do the one big deal. No, in brokerage, you're always on the ground. It's not about the one big deal, because the one big deal comes in a lifetime. So you don't really, and the chances of you getting that one big deal are very low. And there are very few people who just off track once it happens. No, it's very rare. So for most people, it won't happen like that. Most people, it'll be drip. You know what I mean? Huh? So it won't be pour, it'll be drip. But you see, they are consistently there. They're consistently doing what it takes. And over time, that works. That's what I love about brokerage. Once you really establish yourself well, you can make a killing. And you can do brokerage on anything, honestly, anything. I saw kids that made very serious money during college just on brokerage. They made enough money to pay for their school fees. They didn't have anybody, and they were just brokering. I mean, let's not go far. Dr. Rosie Setrombo has amazing stories about that. So it's really just about positioning yourself well and doing what it takes and identifying the need. In workplaces, there's a lot of it. Now, some caution. If you're going to provide credit, just make sure that you're dealing with people that are credit worthy. Some business deals don't even require credit, it's just cash. And people will pay cash also. What I just know is in workplaces, most times people want to get clothes on credit, get this on credit, get that on credit. They're very credit prone. So you need to do your homework and make sure you have enough capital. But you can literally just broker. Merchant on one end, seller on the other. I mean, consumer on the other. And work with that, and it will do wonders for you. So let me talk a bit about before I get to network marketing is next week, but I just want to talk briefly about mobile money agency because I raised it. If you run a shop right now, one of the best things you can do for yourself is get yourself a mobile money agency, because that commission that they pay for withdrawals is yours. So a lot of people would normally tell vendors, please send with withdrawal charge. Please send with withdrawal charge. And sometimes a number of people say, why should I pay that? That's part of your service. So I'm not going to do that. So you get into the whole argument about this and that. So to avoid that, just get yourself a merchant account, which then allows you. The only challenge with the merchant account, you need float. And I guess that's what makes people not do it. But I haven't really checked to see what normally happens nowadays with these mobile money things. But I think if people are withdrawing, it means they're sending money to you, so you've got money sitting there. And for me, that's a good thing. And they are doing it because you've got products which they're buying. So at the end of the day, you're not losing out. So, and you gain those little margins that they give away as a commission. I think it's about 2% of the transaction or thereabout. So they've got some special fees attached to each amount of fee that is charged for the mobile money transaction itself. So mobile money is quite amazing. Nowadays, opening a mobile money agency is not as lucrative as it was because there are too many people in the space. It used to be very lucrative, but too many players. So it's one of those. But you know what? Bottom line is, if you're looking to start a business that's not going to kill you, that's one of the good ones. I don't know about going as far as a booth and everything. I know many people put workers there. You need to do your homework because those guys have also found a way to steal. You'll be amazed how much those ladies or guys who run mobile money booths actually steal from the owners. Most people don't know this. Yes, they do. So you need to be very, very mindful. You need to watch what's going on. You need to be able to know what your numbers are like, the flow, all these things, because then you may find yourself being robbed blind like everybody does. So on that note, next week when I come on, we are going to be looking at this very, very interesting topic on network marketing. I will talk on it because it is something that you can actually do. It's part of the bootstrapping and it's very lucrative. A lot of people just don't realize how effective network marketing is. But like any business, there are pros, there are cons, there are the do's and there are the don'ts. So you need to be familiar with all that in order to ensure you get yourself off to a good start. But I know a lot of people, present company inclusive, Dr. Sunshine, Dr. Nelly, who actually made decent income. I'm talking about serious decent income out of it. The product launch that we'll be doing soon on Fridays is also a network marketing company. So some of you may be able to leverage that and take advantage of it. But I'm talking about people that are looking to actually make a living. And in the market recently, I think if I think hard, I know there's been Longreach around. There's been AIM Global. These are at least reputable companies that people have made a living off. Green World. There used to be Gdes, but it's closed. So I'm talking about the ones that are actively running right now. And some others have forgotten their names. But they've been running and people have been, BF Suma. So these have been running and people are making a living off them. Like as in they are able to pay rent, purchase properties, buy cars. They've been able to make a very decent living off them. And there are others who've been able to do it on part-time basis and made quite almost equivalent of their salary in that business. So of course the question is what kind of salary are you over? Under 10,000 budget. So there are people who've been able to earn between 5 and 10,000 budget every month, month after month in these businesses. And I'm not kidding. That 5 to 10,000 is in bonuses. And then for others who trade and merchandise the products, if they're, especially health products, these guys have been able to make a huge killing because with the merchandise products, what they've been able to do is also sell them on retail and make a retail markup. And some of them make very good retail markup, very, very good. So you find they're able to earn almost the equivalent of their bonuses, if not double or triple their bonuses. So some of them are living quite well, earning above 25 to 30,000 kwacha a month of network marketing. Of course, those are big, very successful individuals, but I can tell you that they are making money. So on that note, let me end. Next week when I come back, we are picking it up on network marketing itself. I'm going to give you the pros, the cons, the good, the bad, the ugly, what works, what doesn't work. I'll give you the whole works so that you're in a good position to actually make the right decision. The company you use, I'm not going to promote any company here. I'm just going to do a generic presentation. But there are companies that have been around. Like I said, Greenworld has been around for a while. I don't know how AIM Global is doing. I don't know if Edmark is still running. I've seen Longreach here and there. And then I've seen, of course, I've the other companies. But they are there. They're running. They're doing what they can. BF Suma with Kelvin Chomba, the networker. So those companies have been able to run and have offices in the country. They have product present. They have licensed outlets. That for me is very, very good. Dynafarm is another one I forgot about. So they've been around, and the people that are running with these are making some decent money. So instead of sitting there looking for a job every day and complaining about what's going on, why not think seriously about brokerage? And in my next presentation about network marketing. So on that note, take care of yourself. Have a great day. Catch you tomorrow. Tomorrow when Doc comes through with her show.